All right, got a little project we got to do here today. I'm going to be installing, where is it at? I'm going to be replacing, well actually first of all, this is on the wrong side. It's not supposed to be on the port side of your vessel. Transducer is supposed to be on the starboard side. That's terrible. I'll clean it eventually, whatever. But so today I'm just, as you guys probably read the title, I will be replacing, well, installing a new transducer, actually a real new one, not that one. I'll be putting a new transducer onto this side. That was an accident. I was supposed to put it on this side. I was not thinking properly. I think I was working too fast or trying to get this project done too fast and didn't do it properly. So I'm supposed to install a new one, which is right here in the box. So brand spanking new one, right? Reason I'm having to replace this or get a new one, I believe I might have damaged the first one, or because it used to work properly. Like I don't get any sonar anymore. I don't get side scan. My side scan only works on one side. I've actually, made sure the settings say, to scan both sides of the, both sides of your vessel. That transducer was on this side before. I had a different transducer sitting over here for a different purpose. Then I got rid of the old one, which old was here. And then I transferred that from here to there. I know I'm doing a lot of movement, sorry. And ever since I did that transfer, like I said, I think I may have hit it, may have backed into something before, like, maybe a rock or, some lay down before. Didn't notice it, but I think it stopped working because I backed into something, whatever. But again, the purpose of the video is to show you guys how to install a transducer on the proper side, which is your starboard side of your vessel. So if you guys can see where the transducer is at, it's in between these two grooves here. Okay, come on, light. This transducer is sitting in between these two grooves here. You want a nice flow of water streaming directly through to the transducer, okay? So that's the important part. And you don't want to have any obstruction from water flow. So that's why I sit it in the middle of these two grooves, okay? So I'm supposed to have this on the opposite side. I'm not gonna say that that's the reason it doesn't work. Again, like I said, I wasn't getting any 2D, any down scan, and I was getting messed up structure scan. So I'm figuring that this is the issue in itself. I don't know if you guys know, if you don't know, you have to be moving to get a good structure scan image, moving in water and all that kind of stuff. But this is a good example of what it kind of looked like. One side would work, the other side would be dark. Okay, like nothing ever here, darker than this. But that's literally how it will show up. Good side, bad side. But in order for me to do this, I kind of need this gone. All right, now we can work. But regardless, got to change that over to that side with a new one, and hopefully it all works out. Like I was saying earlier, I'm going to put my new transducer here. We're going to be mounting, I don't know if you guys can see the pre-existing holes there that I patched up with some good old JB Weld. Don't worry about that patch job. I'm not saying it's the prettiest thing in the world, but it is what it is. And it even says it right here in the directions. Look at that. Can you guys see this right here? Says it right there. Not to go over here. This is the correct location. And of course, make sure it's level. Make sure she's not tilted. Everything's there. But I'm gonna take this one off real quick and then we'll work on installing this one. How I'm sealing up these two holes, just like I sealed up the two holes here. Good old JB Weld. You mix the, that's why I have the gloves on. You mix up the contents about equal amount. You don't need much. And all I did was literally like take a finger, wipe the content on the finger, paste it in here good enough to where it gets nice and thick. You can see it come through on the other side. If you wanted to, maybe sand it down later. I didn't really care. I just wanted the hole sealed properly, so I put a good amount in, made sure it's nice and thick. Let it sit, for 24 hours before I put it back on the water. So whatever. Let's stop talking. Let's get working. Bolt here. Okay. Bolt first. then this washer section through the item, then you have the next washer section that goes on, and then the nut and as the last part of it, of the situation. Okay, so I'm going to put that in real quick. And if you were to use a socket, it's going to be 11, I think it's like 11 millimeter socket. So yeah, and you just tighten those together. Don't like, please don't break it. Don't break your your bracket or anything like that. Trying to socket it down too hard. Get about hand tight right here. So once you figure out, you put it on your starboard side of the boat. Please don't make that mistake like I did earlier by putting it, or before putting on the port side. Don't do that. Put it on the starboard. Okay. Make sure it's not being obstructed by anything. Okay. Like I want one of your ridges here. So once you put it up there, pretty much pre-fit. Let's say pre-fit. Just sit the item up there to see how it's going to lay. You don't want it, sitting down at an angle. You don't want it too high. You want to have it even with your boat. So it's nice water flow straight through to the transducer. Once you have, how it sits with your boat, sitting up in the mounting location that you would like, then you go ahead and tighten down your bolt here, okay? Or nut and bolt. Go ahead and tighten that down. Once you lock it in place, or have, your notches, have your notches locked in place through here. Once you got it cinched down, you shouldn't be able to, click this, up and down, in and out of place. You should not be able to. Okay, shouldn't be so easy. So that's what I mean by cinch down. Like I said, not too tight. You're not, tight as best you can. I know you guys been in the weight room, ladies. I know you've been in the weight room too. But again, like I said, don't try to kill it on the bracket piece. Don't want to break anything. All right. So next, after you got it how you want it or where you want to sit it, then we're going to install the stainless steel screws. Now, as you guys see, I already have two pre-existing holes in here somewhere. I can't necessarily pinpoint it because they have been covered back up. So let's say if I didn't have these pre-existing ones, which technically I can't even see where they're at. So what I would do, if you guys have anything like this that can make a little pilot hole, I know these are primarily used for wood, but this works in this application. So what I like to do, or what I did before, so you see the thickness of these are the, see that these are the screw, or stainless steel screws that comes with your bracket here, okay, for installing into the bracket, right, into your boat. So what I like to do is find a bit in here that's a lot smaller than what you're going to end up installing. What I do is find a really small one, nice and small, just to make a pilot hole into this, to where I'm going to be starting a hole to put your a screw in eventually. So that's what we're going to do. Make two small pilot holes, of course. Sorry for skipping a step. Hold this up where you want it. Make sure it's level. It's not tilted this way, not tilted opposite way. Level with your boat, level with the ground. Then you'll use a Sharpie, whatever case may be. Make two little dots of where you want to put this into. Okay. Then once you got those dots made, your point of where you want to install this at, take it away. Make your pilot holes at those dots. Then you'll be putting this back up again. Make sure your line is not being obstructed. Make sure it's sitting in a nice, beautiful groove there. Your wire. Then you'll put it back up and you put your screws into those pilot holes that you've made. All right, so after you made your marks, take that super small, you guys see that? So you take that super small pilot hole bit and you go ahead, drill your nice little hole in. Nice little hole there, same thing at the next point. And you try to want to be straight as possible. All right, so make sure your wire is not sitting over or anything like that when you're about to install this. That's not good. Make sure that wire sits right in that groove. Sit up top of the bracket there. Again, this is a lowrance triple shot. So I don't know if everyone's bracket should have that. but I like it. Hopefully your bracket does have it. So a quick tip, what I like to do is get some silicone. This is what I use here. It doesn't have to be clear. It's like whatever, you know, whatever you got, whatever you like. Might already have some, you never know. All right, so what I like to do is put some on the hole itself, possibly on the screw as well. So when I thread it in, you know, with the bracket and everything in place, when I thread it in, it will have silicone, you know, going through the screw into that hole, so it tightens the hole, and any extra kind of fills out around the hole too, so it kind of seals the entire thing. So it seals it all together. Once you put the bracket and everything together, it kind of seals it. Has silicone all around the screw itself, all in one. So which is a great, like I said, it's worked for me. Apparently, you see I'm on 1, 2. This is my 3rd time doing it. So no issues from me on this boat as far as any water leakage. So I like to do that. Like I said, put silicone on the hole, maybe a little bit on the screw itself. And again, once you fully seat the screw, you'll see it kind of fold out back around the screw, which is good. Like I said, just complete that seal. And this is more stuff you don't want to get on your hands. Apparently it's not coming out my tube right now, so I'm just going to put a nice glob on the hole. Nice glob on this hole. Personally, it's not supposed to be a beautiful job. Just supposed to be a job that works. All right. A job that gets the job done. Does that mean, I don't know, something like that, right? So this first one, I mean, I'm not really pressing against yet. I just kind of want to start the hole. And I told you, I don't know if you've seen it, my silicone was clear. So I can see where that hole was at initially. So right now it's threading itself on. So right now it threaded itself through that one. So I didn't fully go all the way through yet. I'm taking the second screw and starting that in the next hole. So when it's time to go fully through, I'll show you in a half a second. So, sorry, so both are in place. I know this looks kind of messy. You can see back there. The silicone is in place. Let me see some coming up there. But the silicone is in place, so when I fully seat these screws, that silicone is going to create a nice seal around the screws itself. All right, and again, make sure your wire is not being hit. Make sure you sit that in that section, and then go ahead and seat it properly. And then you can adjust as you want to, high, low. So let me get this sealed up. Give me a half a second. So this is it. This is your finished product. I mean, yes, you might see a little play. I'm not saying you should tighten it up to the point where this thing is like, you might break this. Don't go that tight, okay? But you don't want any clicks when you move this, okay? It's going to be fine. Like I said, maybe I might tighten down a hair more. But like I said, again, you don't want any clicks when you put a little pressure to it. It shouldn't be clicking through gears. I probably will tighten this down some. But like I said earlier, put the silicone glob in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It came out around the edges. Can you see that around there? I don't know. But the silicone will eventually start coming out on both sides. So, and seal the screws themselves. So you're, like I said, you want to be level with the boat as you're running or on plane, so the sonar can work properly, or transducer can work properly. Well, that's it. Hopefully this works out great for me. Clean up shop and call it a day. So I think this install went cool. We're going to try it out tomorrow out of Matterhorn Creek. If you guys want to join me, see you tomorrow. Well, I guess not, because I won't post this video probably until tomorrow. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Again, this is a quick install video. If you guys like fishing, anything has to do with fishing, whether it be products, new baits, things like that, bass fishing, I do catfish here and there. I haven't been deep sea fishing yet. Might be on the to-do list, but I do love catching bass. So if you like catching bass too, by all means, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of that going on here. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys